and tó sì ti dábàá dé.
Hi, everybody. Are we all doing? I hope we're all good. Good afternoon, everybody. I can see some comments in the chat box, in the chat room. Hope you had a beautiful Sunday today. Hi, Judah, Ita. Good afternoon. Hi, Adiola. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, Akiemi. Hi, Oluwatemilorun. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Oluwatemilorun. Trying to read the chat. Hello, Akiemi. How are you? Hi, Florence. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Just quickly. All right, I want to believe we're all set. Okay, so I'm going to be introducing our first speaker for today. I'm going to be introducing our speaker for today. So our speaker is Peace Bamidele, the CEO of Mavrillos Consult. He's a project management expert, certified monitoring and evaluation professional with master's degree in education management and planning, with a distinction from the South American University, Delaware. Is the convener of the Soft Skills Conference, which is an annual conference that sees hundreds in attendance. He is the principal at the Soft Skills Academy, a training center for training and developing professionals. And he will be speaking on emotional intelligence. Please join me as we welcome Peace Bamidele. Hi, Peace Bamidele.
Good afternoon. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can, but there is an echo.
Echo from my end, or where?
Yes.
Okay. What can we do about that? There's nothing here that speaks to that. Can anybody hear me?
Okay,
can anybody hear me, Zia?
Yes, sir, we can.
Who's still there? Is the echo still there?
No, it's fine now. It's fine. We can hear you clearly, sir.
Fantastic. Good afternoon. My name is Peace Bamidele. I'll be sharing my screen shortly. I'll be showing my video. Let me just set things right. It's a virtual meeting, so it's important you're able to see my face. Let me just confirm that you can hear me. Somebody's saying I can't hear. We can hear. Someone say I can hear you clear. Mr. Oluwasewa, are you sure it's not your network? Can we just room? We have 31 people. Okay. Can you hear me? Can people confirm that they can hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Great. You can hear me. Okay, let me turn on my video so we can be sure, because the video also consumes internet. Let me just be sure that this will be fine. Can you see me as well? If by any chance the video, the network becomes poor, I may have to turn off my video. Okay, a handsome face this Sunday afternoon. I'm sure you can see me and you can hear me, because it's very important to do those checks before we resume, before we continue. Okay, fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone. If you can hear me at any point in time, please do well to say something in the room and the chat room. I'll be following in the chat room to be sure that everybody's following. Okay, it is 2:01 p.m. and it's Sunday. Let me first start by commending you all for coming and joining this session this afternoon. It is a sign that you are people who like to grow, who like to develop. I mean, for you to be joining weekend, some of you are just returning from church. Some of you are resting at home. It's weekend, preparing for the new week. So for you to be able to join this afternoon to learn, it's something that is very commendable. And I say, I'm sure you're going to find the conversation productive and very impactful. Secondly, let me appreciate and especially thank Mr. Olasomi and his team. Mr. Ayodeji Olasomi, we go way back in school. I don't know how many of you know the history. And I really thank him for organizing and putting this together. He's somebody who is future-oriented, who is a game changer, who is changing the conversations, and through his leadership talks, seminars, and trainings, somebody I really appreciate and respect a lot in the educational space. And I must really thank you also, Mrs. Olasomi. I know you're the one who welcomed me. Thank you for your gracious hospitality in welcoming me today. Good to see you, good to interact with you before now, some years ago, 2 years ago. So it's good to see you online virtually. Thank you for the invitation. I do not take it for granted, and I do appreciate you for inviting me. And I hope it's going to be a worthwhile time. Okay, so are we set? Are we good to go? Should I begin? Let me see some energy in the chat room. This is a virtual meeting. It's very important that we are as very engaging as possible. We make it lively. If you are ready to go, if you are good to go, if you are ready to hear me so I can start sharing my screen, let me see some comments in the chat room. Let's say good to go, ready, good to go, fantastic. Mr. Emmanuel, fantastic. Akinyemi, fantastic. Stephen Ola, great. Ready. Any Tower, fantastic. Very happy to see all your comments, and I really appreciate that. We're going to have a good time. It's just a 1-hour training. By 3 p.m., I'm out of your faces. Teaching emotional intelligence is a passion for me. It's not just something I do for a living. It's a passion. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's a calling. Let me put it that way. Okay, so if you can see my screen, let me know you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen already right now. Let me know you can see my screen so that I can fire on. I can fire on. If you can see my screen, let me know so that I can fire on. Can anybody see my screen? Anybody see my screen? Are you good to go? Can I fire on? Can I fire on? Can you see my screen? I like to be as engaging as possible. So I want you to show some emotion, some energy, some excitement in the room if you're here. Okay. Can anybody see my screen? I'm still waiting for confirmation if anybody can see my screen. Can anybody see my screen? Nobody's sending any confirmation. It means you can't see my screen. Is that it? Should I stop sharing and sharing again? Okay. Fantastic. People can see the screen. Okay, let me just go on then. Let me go on. So very good afternoon to you all. Okay, so the topic before me today is emotional intelligence. And I want to say thank you once again for the invitation. I'm happy to lend my voice to the conversation in the leadership intelligence course that is going on. And I really, okay, so the topic before me is emotional intelligence, and this is a very, very major topic. This is a very, very major topic. This is not something that I can do justice to in 1 hour, okay? These are trainings that I do for weeks, endless. So I'm just going to be picking high points today. I just want you to take note of this. I'll only be picking high points in the subject matter of emotional intelligence, okay? So that you don't say, what is that all? No, this is not all there is to emotional intelligence. It's a major one. That's why I've taken it as a calling to continue to train people, inspire people along the lines of emotional intelligence, okay? So let's get started. Emotional intelligence is what is often referred to as the intelligence that matters more, okay? Now, right now, we are in the digital revolution, okay? If there's anything you know about what is happening right now, it is called the digital age, okay? This is the fourth industrial revolution. There have been several revolutions in the past. There has been a revolution that has changed the economic space. There's been revolutions called the information age. There was a time where water and steam was what was known as the industrial revolution. But right now, we're in what is called the digital revolution. And that's why you begin to hear technologies such as artificial intelligence, biotechnology, robotics, autonomous vehicles. These are the kinds of technology, even to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. There are many of those technologies you are hearing now. Clubhouse, you hear all of those terminologies. They are part of what is called the digital revolution. And that is something that you should be familiar with. And I'm going somewhere with all of this, okay? Now more than ever, machines are taking over the jobs of many human beings. I mean, you will realize that there are many robots, especially you may not see them right now in Nigeria, but that is what is happening. And not just even robots, the technology that we have right now in the country, in the world right now, are taking over the jobs of human beings. And that is the very reason why the learning of soft skills has become not just very crucial, but also very urgent, okay? The fact that we now have machines that are threatening the jobs of human beings, that is the very reason why the learning of soft skills has become very crucial and urgent. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic came. We're all aware of the pandemic that struck last year in February, led to the shutdown of schools, shutdown of churches, shutdown of mosques, shutdown of workplaces for several months. The COVID-19 and the effect it had, that shutdown and the lockdown, the effect it had in the lives of people in the economy was such that businesses and companies had to start leveraging on technology. You couldn't resume, you couldn't go to your work, so you have to depend on Zoom. You can't meet physically. You have to look at now, we're having Zoom meeting here. That is because of COVID. We can't gather, we can't have a certain number of people together in a room. So many technology, many companies, many businesses are leveraging on technology immensely to thrive. And this very much backs statistics by World Economic Forum, that machines are gradually taking over the jobs of human beings. According to the World Economic Forum, there's a prediction out there that by 2025, machines are going to take over the job of human beings by 52%. By 52%. That is what, and this has the statistics has even shot higher now with the pandemic. As of 2020, they are saying by 2022 it's going to be 42%. But by 2025, they are saying it's going to be about 52%. That human beings, machines are going to be doing the jobs of human beings. That means human beings will do about 38 or 48% of the job, right? Machines will do 52% of the job. That's what's happening. That's the statistics out there. It's not favoring us. And so in the wake of this, one thing that's become very crucial and urgent, it is the knowledge of soft skills. If there's something that is competing with you, the strategy for making sure you have an advantage and making sure you have an edge is that you have something that the other person does not have. That's just a simple logic. If something is competing for you, competing with you, and you have a company, let's say there are two companies, they are both strong in their own right in that space. The company that will have an advantage and have an edge will be the company that has and possesses some skills, some competencies, and some products or services that the other company does not have. And so right now, what we are saying is that you are in competition with a machine. And if you want to have advantage over the machines, right now, many jobs, I mean, if you know it, millions of people were laid off from their job last year. Millions of people were laid off from their job. And so we're saying right now you're in competition with a machine, and the advantage you have over a machine is what is called soft skills. The advantage, I say that again, the advantage you have over machines is what is called soft skills. And one of those soft skills is what we want to talk about today. Machines don't have emotions. It is a human being that programs a machine to work. It is a human being that regulates technology. It's a human being that tells the technology how to act and how to behave, okay? So there is what is called an emphasis on what is called soft skills right now. Because right now, the pandemic has gotten us to realize that we can work from home. We don't need human beings. We don't need machines. We don't need to recruit as many people as possible in some instances. We don't need to meet physically to clean our office, to set up all of those things. Machines can do those things for us. And that's why it is very important that you begin to realize that if I want to have an advantage and position myself very well in the future of work, and the future of work is already now. There's no future again. We're already in the future of work. What has happened with the pandemic is that it has pushed us very quickly into the future of work. So if I want to have an advantage in the future of work, I need to do what? Possess the skills that machines don't have. Machines don't have emotions. Machines are not creative. If a machine was still in 2020, when the pandemic struck in 2020, if it was a machine would still be going to the work. We'll still be resuming every morning, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's what a machine is programmed to work. But a human being will say, okay, let me be innovative, let me be creative, let me approach it this way, let me do this way, okay? That is the advantage you have. And those advantage, that thing that we have is called soft skills, okay? Machines can easily replace hard skills. So some of the skills that we have now, some of the skills, technical skills that human beings possess are being substituted by machines very quickly, okay? So what we are saying in essence is that in the coming weeks, and this is already happening abroad, it's not something that is far-fetched. It's already happening abroad, happening all over the country. By the time you are submitting your CV, more than the technical skills, what you learned in school, they're not going to be looking for all of that because some machines can take over those things. Some jobs are becoming stereotype and repetitive. They are becoming something that can be taken over by a machine. So your employer is looking for creativity. Your employer is looking for innovation. Your employer is looking for leadership skills. Your employer is looking for emotional intelligence. Your employer is looking for somebody who is adaptable, flexible. Machines are not adaptable. Machines are not flexible. It's what you tell them, they just go, rote work. They just go with what you have told them. But human beings are creative. So when you are presenting your CV, when you are positioning yourself in your company, at your workplace, what will stand you out is what is called soft skills. And if you see my screen right now, you can see these are examples of the soft skills. This is according to a research that was done by LinkedIn in 2020. And this research is still valid, okay? You can see these are the top 10 hard skills. Hard skills, blockchain, cloud computing, UX design. These are the tech skills that I train whenever I get to train individuals who are developing a career in tech. This is the balance. That's why I like to say the missing link of education. And so what we are seeing is that many people are focused on the soft skills, on the hard skills, while ignoring. So all of these right now are called hard skills. They are focused so much on this, but this is where we want you to also focus on so that there's a balance. There's a balance. We have found people that are smart and intelligent. They can build the best websites, but they have a character defect. They don't know how to connect or relate with people. They don't know how to manage their emotions. When they get angry like this, it's like fire. And they have been fired in a short period of time. So in the workplace, there's a balance. You are bringing your technical expertise, but also be mindful of the fact that there are soft skills to be learned, okay? There's leadership you have to learn. There's collaboration you have to learn. There's adaptability you have to learn. And so one of those soft skills is what emotional intelligence. I hope you can still hear me very clearly. This is just a background. I've just given you a background to what emotional intelligence is. This is what justifies the need. If you can hear me loud and clear, and if you are feeling me, let me sure you are feeling me. You can comment in the chat room. I'm be sure you are with me on the call, and we're sitting together. So very quickly, why do you need emotional intelligence in the workplace? Why? All of this conversation recruited into companies of their skills and competencies but they lack certain things. And these are the things I want to begin to speak to. Why do you need to have emotional intelligence in the workplace? Why? EI stands for emotional intelligence. Number one is the fact that there is politics in the workplace. Many people don't know this. There is politics in the workplace. Many young graduates have become victims of the politics of the workplace because they did not know that in the workplace, you have to know that there are people who are in positions of influence, and those people, they connect with other people. The people, they have factions. There's being in the workplace. Anywhere you have human beings, there's always politics there. And if you are not emotionally intelligent, you will be a victim and you'll be kicked out in no time. There's politics. Number two, human beings are sociological beings. This is carefully. It's very important because you like some people, I don't like those same people. When you're in workplace, there are some team members, like some people, you just like some people the way they act, the way they compose themselves and all of that. But some people, you just don't like them. There's a sociology of the workplace. My voice is breaking, Mr. Omo Etuk. Perhaps I should turn off my video. That's why I was saying I should turn off my video. Let me just turn off my video now so that you can just, let me turn off my video. That will also conserve the Mr. Omo Etuk. Just be sure that it is fine now by the time I'm done. Can anybody hear me? Let's be sure it is clear now. I've turned off my video. It conserves the internet. Conserves the internet. Okay, it's better now. Thank you, Mr. Emo, for our feedback. Okay, so let me go on. So the human beings are, just give me some more feedback. Okay, good. Say it's better now. Sociological to relate, they are gregarious. They like to fact. That is one of the reasons why you need emotional intelligence. Number three is that human beings are psychological beings. Human beings are psychological beings. Somebody still breaking. Wow. Says still breaking. I don't know what to do about that. Somebody says I can't hear. Can anybody hear me? Somebody says better sound now. So which one should I believe? I can hear. People say they can hear me. It's much better. So I should just go on, I think. Mr. Nnamdi Fidelis, can you hear me? Okay. So it must be the network from your end. If you can't hear me.
We can hear you. It's probably
you can hear me. Good. Yeah, all right. Let me go ahead. So psychology. Now, people have tendencies. People behave in certain ways. People have different styles. People have different idiosyncrasies. People have different, the way they behave, the way they act, the way they like some things. You may work with a boss that likes his or her shoe polished. And so when he sees that your shoe is not polished, it begins to get irritable. Some bosses are like that. You may have a boss that wants your mail, the subject of your mail, to start with a capital letter. But he wants you to write all your subject with capital letter. That is the some people are psychological beings. Some people, they don't want you to bang the door. They don't want you to open. Some people have those traits. I'm even sure you also have those traits in you. Those things have been the reasons why some people have been fired for their jobs, because they don't know that human beings are psychological beings. They don't know that some people prefer things a particular way more than the way other people prefer it. And so if you don't know how to worm your way into the hearts of people based on what they like or don't like, and how to manage people's expectations, manage people's opinions and perspectives and idiosyncrasies and all of those things, you just realize that there's always conflict. This is why many people fight in their marriage or relationship. But more importantly, in the workplace, many people just have conflict of interest, they just fight and all of that, because you don't know that human beings are psychological beings. Human beings are sociological beings. Human beings are political beings. And that's why when you are in the workplace, you have to be mindful of these things. And that's why this training on soft skills, on emotional intelligence in particular, is very, very important. I'm going to be going very quickly now. These are also some of the reasons. I can't go into all of this. There's pressure in the workplace. It will test you. People's personality are different. It will test you. And then perspectives are different. It will test you. This is another reason why soft skills, why emotional intelligence is very critical. Now, quickly, what is emotional intelligence? Please be engaging. Let's talk and interact in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear, please speak to that so that I can know that I am flowing and I can just be running, because I have just about 30 minutes or 40 minutes to go. Okay. So what is emotional intelligence? As you can see on my screen, emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and in others, and the ability to use this awareness to manage your behavior and manage relationships effectively. You may want to snap that or take a picture of that or screen grab that, whatever the case is. Your ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and in others, and the ability to use this awareness to manage your behavior and manage your relationships effectively. Very important. You don't know how to manage yourself, manage other people. There's always fight. There's always conflict in the workings of people. Manage the expectations, manage their everything. It will help you. So let's go on now. What are the 4 pillars? Remember, I told you that I can't cover this topic in 1 hour. I've barely scratched the surface and 30 minutes is almost already gone. Okay. So what are the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence? Now, when we talk about emotional intelligence, there are different classifications. There are different competencies. When you say somebody is emotionally intelligent, they have to possess certain traits and competencies. And those are the things I want to begin to speak to now. Okay. Now, these 4 competencies. Number 1, self-awareness. I'm sure some of us have heard this concept before. Self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? How well do you know yourself? Conflict resolution is one of the reasons why there's always conflict in the workplace, is that many people don't know their values. They don't know who they are. If you don't know yourself, you don't know the things that drive you, the things that motivate you, the things that energize you, the things that inspire you. How do I feel? Sometimes you just get angry. You don't know why. Sometimes you just get bored. You just get irritable. Things that trigger you. Thank you, Dami. How do I feel? You have to ask yourself, how do I feel? Self-awareness. And I'm going to be teaching us strategies for developing self-awareness. Number 2 is self-management. Self-management, also called self-regulation. Having known yourself, how do I deal this aspect of myself? You know you have a particular weakness, or you know you have a particular strength. How do I manage this strength, or how do I manage this weakness? You know that you always get angry anytime you spend 2 hours in traffic and you get to work. You spend 2 hours in traffic, you lose it. You can't answer your boss coherently. Or anytime you know you are hungry like this, the whole world is your enemy by the time you are hungry. Some people are like that. These are the little things that make a big difference in the workplace. Many people, when somebody speaks hard to them or speaks harshly to them, they lose their balance throughout the day. If you know that about yourself, how do you deal with it? Some people can't stand being corrected by their boss or their employer or their line manager. They can't stand it. How do I deal with that aspect of myself? Some people, they don't know how to talk. And they genuinely know that this is a weakness. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to express their opinion or perspective without sounding harsh or sounding rude. Self-regulation. How do I regulate this aspect of myself? Well, first of all, you have to know it in self-awareness. Number 3 is social awareness. So the first one is self-awareness. The third one is social awareness. Social awareness is about other people. Other people. A major reason why there's conflict in the workplace is that people are selfish. Human beings are generally selfish. Generally. It's not just anybody. Everybody is generally selfish. It takes an intentional effort, and that is what emotional intelligence teaches you. It takes an intentional effort for you to say, look, I want to know how this person feels. It is not just about you. The world is not about you. Nnamdi Fidelis, I think it's your network. You said you can't hear anything again. I think it's his network. Dami is still feeling me. So I think she can hear me or he can hear me. So social awareness is about the other person. If you can hear me, please send in the chat room as well. Social awareness is about the other person. How do you feel? You have to go beyond yourself. Step out of yourself. Step out of the mindset and the perspective. I'm going to emphasize more on that. How do you feel? Then the last one is relationship management. Relationship management. Having practiced self-awareness, self-regulation, and social awareness, the next thing is that you need to be able to manage relationships. Oh, this is very important. You can have a strong net worth. I mean, you have so much money in your account. But let me tell you, it is better. Let me not say it is better. It is also beneficial to have what is called a strong network. Network is different from net worth. Your net worth is your money. Your network is your people, your relationships. Many people don't know how to manage relationships. You meet somebody today, and the other, I mean, you don't know how to sustain relationships. You know, one person in your life can take you forward and take you to the next level of your life. But people don't know how to manage relationships. They don't know how to initiate phone calls, check up on people on their birthday. Some people don't even know how to say happy birthday to their friends. Some people will just write HBD. HBD. What is that? You're saying that HBD. Somebody that tells me HBD, compare with somebody that tells me HBD, which means happy birthday. And the other person that says this, Peace Bamile, I want to really appreciate you and thank you for the impact you've made in my life. On this special day, I really appreciate you and I wish you a happy birthday. Compare that person with somebody that just types HBD. Who will I remember more when I have something in the future? That I mean, and this person. That is what is called relationship management. How you give feedback to people is also relationship management. How you check up on people, how you call, how you smile, how you interact. Relationship management. How do we seal? Now, these 4 pillars, each one of them, I can spend 2 hours on it. Each one, I can spend 2 hours. This is what I do, Soft Skills Academy. Okay, I teach this almost every week, almost every week. Okay, so very quickly, I want to just touch on them because we don't have time. Okay, we don't have time. I need to just run very quickly. I'm going to take one of them, each of them, one after the other, and I'm going to be telling you what is called strategies. Strategies for developing each of them. Strategies for developing each of them. How do you improve your self-awareness? So for each of them, I'm going to give you 4 strategies. 4 strategies. Whenever we talk about soft skills, we always talk about strategies. Strategies for developing this, strategies for developing that, and all of that. So please be mindful of this, and I'm going to make it practical and begin to pick examples in your life where you can begin to practice some of these things. This kind of training is not a training where you just hear and go. You have to begin to practice. Soft skills that, I mean, if I had time, I would have shown you a comparison between soft skills and hard skills. Soft skills, it takes time for you to develop them. Hard skills, you can just go to school in 4 years, you have a certificate. Or you have a training course in 2 weeks, you have it and you're done. But soft skills, emotional intelligence, all of those skills is a continuous effort to personal improvement. But you have to hear it first and even know what you're developing. Number 1, self-awareness. Understand your values and your goals. I mentioned this at the beginning. It's very important that you understand your values and your goals. What drives you in life? Why are you in that job? Why are you in that relationship? Why are you getting engaged in that business? Ask yourself, what are my values? So that by the time you get into a conflicting situation, maybe the pressure is so much in the company, you know that I'm here for a reason. There's a purpose to my presence here. Many people, they want jobs, they want opportunities, but by the time pressures come, they're not able to manage those things because before they got into those relationships, those companies, those job opportunities and all of that, they did not first define what defines them. You have to first define what defines you. What defines you as a person? What are your values? What is the ultimate? What gives you maximum fulfillment? Is it money? Is it impact? What gives you fulfillment? A sense of purpose. What is your value? That's an assignment for you. What is your goal? Your goal is what you want to achieve in the next 3 years, the next 4 years, the next 5 years. Or to start with, what do you want to accomplish this week, this 1 week that we're about to step into? These are some of the things. If you know that you have a goal for the next 1 week to do certain things, when offense comes, when people come to you and people get you angry and all of that, you quickly dust it off and look, I'm moving on. I have a goal. If you have your goal is clear. Understand your values. I can't go on and on this. Let me quickly move forward. because of time. Number 2, you need to do what is called a SWOT analysis. This is an assignment. Some of these strategies are clear assignments for you. They're not things that I'm just saying. You have to go and do them. Do a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is something that is done in the workplace, and business executives, workers, employees, they do this a lot. Do a SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis? Your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Analyze yourself. What are the things I am good at? Those are your strengths. What are the things that, look, if you put me on this thing, I will dust it, I will kill it, I will nail it. What do you do with your strength? You begin to leverage on your strength for opportunities. When you see your strength, you merge your strength with opportunities. When you see opportunities out there, you're like, I'm good at this, let me take advantage of it. Okay? What do you do with your weaknesses? List your weaknesses. Many people, because they are driven by money, they begin to get involved in things that they are weak at, areas they are weak at. And by the time you don't demonstrate your weakness, you demonstrate that you don't have capacity. And then people will not trust you with other things later. It is okay to develop yourself. You are trying to try your hands on new areas and new fields and all of that. But don't be boastful about an area where you are weak. Okay? When I say an area where you are weak now, I'm talking about in the workplace now. In the workplace, don't go and put yourself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. It's good to dare new things, but also do it with some level of caution so that you know how you are positioning yourself. Okay? Do a SWOT analysis. Now, this is very crucial. And then your threats, your T's, your threats. Know the threat around you. So people are just going. They're not even sensitive to all the threats around them. Maybe the company is folding up. The company is not making money. I am not knowing that this is a threat to my stay in this company. Maybe, I mean, for example, opportunities. Somebody has gone on leave. You don't know that, this person has gone on leave and is a stepping stone for me to begin to learn certain things. They just say, it's time for me to relax. My boss is on leave. No, it's a time for you to step up and begin to take advantage of growth and knowing and knowledge, threats. Know all those things. Do a SWOT analysis of your environment. What can I learn about my environment? Quickly now, seek feedback. Self-awareness. One of the ways you know yourself is by asking feedback. Ask people. You can't know yourself by yourself. Ask your friends. Ask your family members. Ask your colleagues. Tell them, ask them questions about, tell them to tell you, tell me about myself. What do you think about me? What area do you think I'm good at? What area do you think I can improve on? What should I stop doing? What should I start doing? What should I keep doing? How can I improve myself? Seek feedback. That's how you develop self-awareness. Then also understand your HALT. What do I mean by HALT? H is for hungry. A is for angry. L is for lonely. T is for tired. Understand when you are hungry. What are the things that get you hungry? And I'm not talking about food alone now. What are the things you are passionate about? What are the things that get you hungry? And how do you respond to hunger? How do you respond to hunger? A is for anger. What are the things that get you angry? When you get angry, what are the things that are triggers of your anger? You need to know those things so that you know, if this person talks like this, I'm going to act like this. So that by the time you don't get to self-regulation, you know how to manage yourself. Many people have gotten angry and have missed opportunities because of that. Their anger has made them lose opportunities. Lonely. What do you do when you are lonely? Some people, they get into wrong practices and wrong habits when they are lonely. Some people are susceptible to some wrong relationships when they are lonely. Wrong thoughts and perspectives begin to groom in their mind because they are lonely. And then tired. So when they are tired, they can't do anything, they can't perform, they can't be productive. What is the threat of your tiredness to your productivity? And how can you manage your tiredness? Especially if you live in Lagos, all the traffic and all the work on Lagos, all the pressure on the week. I know that you still have some tasks to deliver on, you still have some deadlines to meet. How do you manage all of these things? That is what we're going to be talking about now. How to improve what? Your self-regulation. So these 4 practices will help you to improve your self-awareness. Let me tell you, I told you at the beginning, this is just a scratching of the surface. This is like 2% of all that I can teach in self-awareness. Whenever you're teaching any soft skill, practical examples I like to give, but I can't go into detail now. Okay, let me go to next one, self-regulation. Remember what self-regulation is about. Having known yourself, how do you regulate yourself? You know your weakness, you know your strength, okay? Somebody said I should come again on HALT. Sunday Adeyemi, HALT means H for hungry, A for angry, L for lonely, and T for tired. hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Know those things about yourself. So self-regulation, having known these things about yourself, how do you regulate yourself? You know what gets you hungry and angry. You know how you know your weaknesses, you know your strengths. How do you regulate these things? Number one is the fact that you have to learn this simple principle of responding and not reacting. Then this principle will save you a lot. This principle will save you a lot, responding and not reacting. We live in a very fast-paced world where people want to do things very quickly. You get a mail, you want to respond very quickly. Somebody tells you something, you want to respond very quickly. Somebody tells you, you just want to respond. In between the time that something happens to you and the time you do something back to the person, there's a time frame. Okay, somebody steps on your toe, there's a short time frame before you do either responding or reacting. Most people always react, and that's why they don't manage their emotions well. Your boss tells you something, you don't necessarily have to have all the answers there. Your boss sends you a mail, you don't necessarily have to respond immediately. If I thought you're going to respond, you can just acknowledge and tell them the person that yes, I'll come back to you later. Most people are always in the hurry to give feedback. Let me just quickly say, calm down. You have to learn how to respond. Your wife has said something to you that angers you. Calm down. Then find a response. Your colleague at work has told you, something has happened. We have lost money. Don't begin to panic and panic. No. Calm down and find a response. That time frame in which you calm down, it can be 5 minutes or 5 seconds. Just calm down. Don't react. If you react, you're going to react wrongly. People's reactions are always wrong most times. Respond. You get a mail, you want to respond to the mail. Calm down and find a response. That thing saves lives. Number 2, channel your impulses. Yeah, reacting is mostly aggressive. Very true. Dami is really following me. You are my student of the day today. And I think your brother or your sister or your wife, Ruth Kosoko, whoever that is, sister or wife, or whichever one. Okay, channel your impulses. That is another strategy for developing self-regulation. Channel your impulses. Now, when you get angry, it is not important that you react or respond sometimes. You can just do other things. Get involved in other things. Sometimes people always want responses very quickly. You don't necessarily have to give a response now or even ever. You can just do other things. When you get angry or when you are hungry or when you're lonely or when you're tired, do other things. Channel your impulses to some other endeavor. Some people is watching a movie. Some people is playing a song or singing a song or listening to a song. Some people it is praying. Whatever your other thing is, you have to find it. Channel your impulses. Channel your impulses. Find other things that can trigger a sense of happiness and joy. The world, look, there are million other things you can do, millions of other things. One of the ways you can regulate yourself is to find those other things that help you be a better person. Whether it is reading a book, whether it is calling a friend, or whether it is going to church or praying or going to the mosque. Channel your impulses to other endeavors. Whether it is cycling. Some people don't have all these simple things. Those are the things that will give you advantage in the workplace. So let me put O at the end, like Nigerians talk. Those are the things. Some people, they don't know how to manage all their, they just, that work, they're under pressure. My boss has said something. Look, forget about it. Don't tell what your boss has said. Don't allow that to now make you have a totally bad day. Channel your impulses to other things. Focus on other things. Look, I'm okay. Just think about yourself in a better light. I mean, move to other things. Engage in other fields, other world. Just detox your mind. Don't focus on the thing that is at the present. Channel your impulses. Number 3 is how we know that you are self-regulate, that you regulate yourself well. Yeah, Emmanuel Additional, channel your impulses. Learning to walk away from what upsets or put pressure on you. Fantastic. Okay, that's a major one. That's what we're talking about. Walking away from what upsets and puts pressure on you. Number 3 is how you give feedback. Now, this speaks to how much of a self-regulated person that you are, how you give feedback to people. Many people don't know how to give feedback.
And it's very important. Some people have very good things to say, but they say it the wrong way. More important than what you say is how you say it. You have to regulate yourself anytime you have anything to tell anybody about themselves. Anytime you have something about anybody that you want to say that is negative, or you just want to tell them, you have to know how to give that feedback, because it's very important. Some people don't know how to regulate themselves. Oh, this is it. They just say that. And then the relationship scatters. That is why many relationships are toxic. Some people don't know how to talk to their girlfriends. Some girlfriends don't know how to talk to their boyfriends. Some colleagues don't know how to talk to their staff. Some bosses don't know how to talk to their staff. A boss, a leader, because the higher you go in any company or career, the more leadership qualities are very, very important. It is not your technical competence that will help you, it's your leadership quality. And leadership quality, one of the pillars there is how to give feedback to your followers, the people that are following you. So you have to learn to regulate yourself. If you are giving feedback, whether you are appreciating somebody or thanking somebody or telling them about what they've done or not, you have to know how to give feedback. Same thing Dami Kosoko is saying here. Don't condemn people overly and say, this one. Don't give feedback that pushes people away and just makes them feel less of themselves. Number 4, because of time, we have to run very quickly. We're getting to the end gradually, because I said, number 4 is how to receive feedback. Also, you have to regulate yourself. When somebody is telling you something about yourself that is not good, and the thing is making you feel bad, your boss has given you feedback. How you receive that feedback is also a testimony to how much of a self-regulated person that you are. Some people, because of how their bosses have given them feedback, they just lose their cool, they lose their calmness, they can't concentrate again. How you receive feedback is important. Always thank people when they give you feedback, no matter how bad the feedback is. Because somebody that has given you bad feedback today can come back tomorrow and give you positive feedback based on how you have received it. Even if the feedback is wrong or anything, receive it with gratitude. This is for you now, the person that is receiving the feedback. For giving feedback, you are the person giving the feedback. All of these things will tell us how much of a self-regulated person you are. And that's why we train a lot of people on what is called effective communication at the Soft Skills Academy. It's important to know how to receive feedback. Oh, thank you. How you receive feedback will tell us how far you go in life. Because people are always looking for people who are teachable. People who like, tell me, how did I do? If you don't know how to receive feedback, you just keep making mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. No advancement in life. Self-regulation, regulate yourself. These are just strategies I'm giving. These are just 2% of what I can teach you on self-regulation. Let's move on very quickly. To the next one is social awareness. Remember, this is about other people now. This is about other people. I'm just teaching you tips. These are things you can practice immediately after this training, okay? And I need to run very quickly. Now, how to improve social awareness? Number 1 is you have to greet people by their names. If you are in a company or if you are in a business, in a church environment, in a mosque environment, anywhere you are, please know people's name. Don't call them. People's names are one of the most personal things to them. When you greet people by their name, you endear yourself to their heart. You make them see that, wow, this person recognizes me and appreciates me. This is how you connect. This is how you build relationships. Know people's name, in summary. Number 2, understand body language. First name is better. First name. If you can know, for me, I always know the full names. Nnamdi Fidelis. I always know the full name of people. Dami Kosoko. I like to call people by their full name, but first name is fine. Understand body language. How do you understand? If every time that people, you should say what you want to say. Every time people, you just want to say, understand people's body language before you bring your matter to them. The fact that you have good news to share doesn't mean it is the right time to share that good news. The person you want to tell that good news may have just lost their father or lost a business contract, and you just want to share your good news. Understand their body language. Know how they are feeling before you bring your own matter to them. Understand body language. Study their facial reaction. You know, I shouldn't say this now. This person has just failed their exam. I shouldn't say this now. Let me say this. Understand body language. Don't just open your mouth and talk. These are some of the things. These are things this is what's called social awareness. You are aware of what the other person is feeling. Number 3 is practice the 3 A's. What are the 3 A's? Appreciation, apology, and acknowledgement. Appreciation, apology, and acknowledgement. Learn to appreciate people, no matter how small what they give you is. If somebody gives you a pen and somebody gives you 1 million naira, don't thank the 1 million naira person more than you thank the pen person. Appreciate them. The person that gave you pen can give you 1 million naira later, based on how well you have appreciated that person. Appreciation, show gratitude, no matter how small. Don't feel entitled. There's nothing called entitlement mentality. Anybody that gives you anything, you go to a waiter, a shop, and you give it, somebody opens the door for you, thank them, appreciate them. Appreciation. The second A is acknowledgement. When you are in any place, acknowledge people, acknowledge your dad, acknowledge people that are older than you, acknowledge people in your field, acknowledge people in your sector. You are called into a room, or acknowledge the person that has invited you to speak, acknowledge people that are around you. Okay? And then the last one, apology. Always apologize. It doesn't take anything from you. Even if the other person is the person that is wrong and you are right, still apologize. I mean, it's a common etiquette that will take you far. These are simple strategies and simple practices that open doors for people. Let me not say more than that. Next one is be empathetic. Think about the other person. Put yourself in the shoes of other people. Put yourself in the shoes of other people. Many bosses are not empathetic. Somebody has just given birth. You ask them to resume on Monday morning by 7 a.m. You're not empathetic. COVID-19 is out there and you cut down the salary of people by 80%. And then COVID has subsided, you are still retaining their salary. You own a school, you are buying cars for yourself. Meanwhile, you have not paid the salaries of your staff for 3 months. You're not empathetic. These are some of the things. Be empathetic. When you are an empathetic boss, you make decisions and policies and practices that help your staff. These are the things that promote loyalty. When people are loyal to you, it's because they say, this my boss is empathetic. If you are the father of the house, your wife, be empathetic. Your wife is pregnant, do some chores for her in the house. Be empathetic. That's what it means to remember. If I was one who is pregnant like this, how would I feel? Do some chores, help her, do this and that. These are empathetic in your relationship. Your girlfriend or boyfriend is very busy. You have to call them, do something for them to show that, I'm empathetic. It's our social awareness skills. Very quickly now, let's go to relationship management as I begin to round off. How do you manage relationships? Because I have not scratched that. You can see that I'm just highlighting those points. I can begin to tell specific stories on each of them. Number one, how to practice relationship management is by initiating conversations. Many people, when they go out there, they don't know how to initiate conversations. The world is a global village. The person sitting next to you may literally be the person that can take you further in life. I can share personal stories in this, but I don't have time. Initiate conversation. Just ask, how are you doing? Oh, good morning. My name is Peace Bamidele. This is what I do. And if you have a card, share card, and that's all. Initiate conversations. Talk to people. Make friends. Don't say I'm shy. Everybody is shy. Everybody, if you want to say shy, if you want to use shy as an excuse, no, I am also shy. But the world requires that you connect. It's a connecting world. Be on Facebook, connect. Meet with friends. Initiate conversations. Even if it's not lengthy conversations, make friends. Initiate a dialogue. Be the first to approach people. You'll be shocked at how immense opportunities are around you because you initiated conversation. Number two, smile. This is a simple strategic and a simple logic. When you smile, you open the door to your heart. You open the door to your life that, I'm accessible, I'm available, talk to me. Oh. Smile. Don't always wear a frown and everybody's, this one that is frowning. He doesn't want to meet him. He may just slap us. Smile. Smiling is a very cheap way to make friends. Just smile. Don't always wear a frown. That's even though you are suffering and you're going through, wear a smile. Wear a smile. Let people find you approachable. Why do you think businesses that sell stuff in the banks and in the companies, they put a lady that always is approachable and smiling? Oh, how do you do? Welcome to our company. How can we help you? They smile and all of that. If you go to another company and what the person is doing is just frowning. Hello, why are you here? How can I help you? And he's frowning. Do you think you go back to that other company? It is a company that smiles, okay? It actually takes less muscles to smile, actually. And it helps you, okay? Smile. Wherever you are now, just smile, 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 smile and practice this. It's a very simple practice. Smile, okay? Smile. I can see that, Mrs. Olasomi, thank you. Next one, quickly, as we begin to go to the end, next one is practice listening. If I want to talk about this, I can talk about this for 2 hours. Listening Academy. Listening is not what you do with your biological ears. Listening is what you do with your heart. You listen with your heart, not with your ears. Listen with your heart. Some people are listening. You are talking to them on the phone. They are doing some other thing. They are distracted. They are not engaging. They are not. When you are listening, you are actively involved in the conversation. You are asking questions. Oh, wow. You're making gesticulation. Some people's marriages have ended because they lack listening skills. That's why their marriage, they want to go into divorce, because their marriage has not survived because the husband does not listen to the wife, or the wife does not, whichever case it is. Listening is very critical. Listen to what people are saying. Some people are talking, but they are talking beyond what they are saying. But if you listen very well, you hear it well. But if you're just listening to the words, listen to beyond the words. I can teach you beyond listening. I can't exhaust the training on listening. It's a very major skill. Lastly, collaboration. Understand collaboration. If you think you can achieve anything major alone, you have gotten it wrong. If you think you can achieve anything major in this life alone, you have gotten it wrong. Nobody ever achieved. This program we are here now and listening to is a work of many people. Mr. Olasomi's team, many people working together. You can't achieve any major thing alone. And these are the things that will help you to form a mindset that, look, I need to manage my relationships. I need people. I need people that will help me do this and all of that. If you have a mindset of selfishness, of pride, I can do it alone. I want to win it for myself. This is why teams, we are working with teams in the company. Don't say I want to become, of course, good to say I want to become the best staff of the year and all of that. But even in doing that work, you need other people to actualize that dream, to actualize that vision. Think about soccer. Think about football. You think it's just striker that scores the goal? Many people are passing the ball to him, to the person, passing the ball to her. Like I can be gender balance here. Passing the ball to her. And the synergy is very important. So you're able to connect and interact and relate and say, look, I can't achieve it alone. You work together as a team, okay? And this is what will make you begin to work on your mindset that, look, let me build relationships. No man is an island. And those are some of the terminologies. You manage your relationships well. You call people, you check up on people, you ask them how they are. Life does not revolve around you. Celebrate people, celebrate their achievements. Very good. I like the fact that people are sharing some of those quotes that align with some of the things I'm sharing. A tree can't make a forest. Okay, you can't achieve anything alone. Very, very important. So these are the 4 pillars. Remember, I told you I have only scratched the surface. This is just to whet your appetite. I have not really done substantial justice to the subject matter of emotional intelligence, because this is a very vast field, and it is gaining so much ground right now, especially as machines are taking over the jobs of human beings. It is gaining so much ground because people are looking for individuals who can connect, who can relate. Because let me leave you with this as I begin to round off. I've talked about the 4 principles already. The higher you go, I've mentioned it while I was talking, the higher you go in leadership, the less important your technical skills become, and the more important your soft skills become. People are looking for people who can connect, they can build, they can lead, they can gather people together, inspire people. They can be flexible, they can be adaptable, they can be creative. At the top of your leadership career, what they are looking for, people who can lead organizations and lead teams. They are not looking for your technical skills alone. They're looking for people who can connect and relate with people, who can manage relationships so that the company does not collapse, so there's no fight and everything. They can manage conflict resolution. That's another way you practice relationship management. How do you manage? I can teach 1 hour on conflict resolution. Nnamdi, you didn't get the full meaning of SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's what SWOT means. Somebody can help you post it in the room. So as I begin to round off, I don't know if you have questions. I want to thank you for listening to me because my time is already rounding off. We have just about 7 minutes. So I'll be happy to take questions. If you have questions or comments, any question or feedback, give me feedback. Any question, feedback? Yes, I have a question. Ruth Kosoko, please type in your question very quickly. We have a short time. And while we are taking questions, please feel free to take advantage of some of these things. I have a book. It's titled The Missing Link of Education. If you want the soft copy, if you want the hard copy, it's also available. I have the Soft Skills Toolkit online course. If you want to take the course, you can see some of it's a video course. You learn at your pace. You learn all of those skills. Can you see all the skills that are highlighted there? 15 hours of video and audio content. You learn a lot. Leadership, emotional intelligence, all of those things you learn there. All of these things are available if you want to take advantage. The book is $2,000. The course is $30K. That's a lot to share. There's no time to share. Quickly, let me take some questions. So if you want those books, they are available. Let me take some questions. Somebody says, how can you manage a boss who believes he's all in all? I would really be happy if you can be more elaborate on that. When you say all in all, I believe you mean that the boss thinks that he knows everything, you're irrelevant. Okay, that is not a very good work environment to be. And because the person is your boss, you have to be able to manage that person. This is where emotional intelligence becomes very important. When your boss has a perception that is contrary to your own perception or perspective, you have to be able to manage your boss so that your boss doesn't think that you're always standing in his way or away. Okay. So if your boss is a particular way, there's a training I do called managing your boss. It's an emotional intelligence training. How to manage your boss. You have to understand your boss, what are his desires, what is dream, what is toxic for you, then leave the job. Okay. But the boss is there. You just have to manage your boss. He's all in all. When you are talking to him, you don't talk and say, this is it. You suggest, sir, do you think we can approach it this way? Don't say, I believe we should approach it this way. How you communicate and express your perspective is important with those kind of bosses. How you present your matter to them. Okay. Another person, I can't go into detail. How do we manage a bipolar staff? Mood swing. I believe you wanted to say mood swing. So the person always gets easily. So can you engage that staff? Engage them. What are the reasons? Why do you always, have you ever had a communication? One of the reasons why people are not able to go further in life sometimes in relationship with people is because they have not engaged in what is called effective communication. Talk to that staff. What are the things? Have this session, this training I've given you now, have that session with your staff. Talk to your staff and ask, why is it like, why are you always acting like this? How can I help you become a better staff? How can I help you manage your mood swings better? Okay, these are some of the things you can do. I can't go into details. How do we get a boss to practice EI? Why is everybody talking about their boss today? Boss. I know bosses can be, so maybe I can do a session, maybe what I need to do, another session with you, how to manage your boss. Bosses are bosses. There's a limit to how you can correct them. You can't correct your boss, okay? Except if the boss is, flexible and open and all of that. You can't be saying you want to correct and teach your boss. Okay, but you have to know how to manage the relationship with your boss. You can't tell your boss now to, boss, I want to refer you to come and attend Peace Bamidele's training on emotional intelligence. I think you need emotional intelligence in your life. You have already failed. That's not how to talk about it. You are the one now, you now. Since your boss is not here, you are the one that has to practice emotional intelligence on your boss. Okay, this thing is not one-sided. It is both-sided. You are the one who will manage it. How do you manage when she talks to you arrogantly, when she has crazy deadlines that don't fit your schedule and all of that? How do you manage that? Wow, there are many questions here. You helped me to realize a lot of things about myself, things I do naturally that I didn't know has real relevance. Thank you very much. How do you handle a highly demanding boss who puts you under immense pressure? In Nnamdi, I work for a boss like that. And at the end of the day, the feedback I got from that boss is that Peace is one of the most flexible and adaptable person in this company. He praised me publicly. How do you handle a high demand? You make yourself flexible. You have to step up. You have to expand your capacity. Okay? Upward leadership. How do you deal with somebody who is always complaining? Sit them down and have a personal conversation with them. I've observed this thing about you. Why are you always complaining? Why do you think this? And there's a way you go about it. It's a conflict resolution problem. Wow, many questions. How do I manage the emotion of an aggressive person? Wow. Regarding self-regulation, how long should it take to think about responding? Just be calm. As long as you are calm, when you find the proper response, that is when you respond. It's not a time frame. Find a proper response. That is when you are respond. When you find the proper response is when you respond. Okay, it's not a time frame. Person says you need to change, but doesn't give you a chance to express yourself in order for you to show the change in you. Wow, Mr. Olatomi, there's a lot of questions here. I'm not sure I can take them in a short time frame. This is a lot. I can't take them. We have just 1 minute, and I don't like exceeding my time. We have a target. So if you can follow me on social media, you can get to meet me on those places. These are my social media handles on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow me at AskPeace_. I post on emotional intelligence every Monday, when some of your questions. Also follow at Get Soft Skills. That's our social media handle for the Soft Skills Academy. You get to learn a lot. I've posted a lot of content. I've posted a lot of content before now that may answer your question. Maybe admin can post it in the chat room for people at askpeace_, at askpeace_. Let me try and post it also so that it's clear. And then at Get Soft Skills. That's good. Thank you for those people who have helped me. So you can go and read up some of my content. Some of them we answer your questions. I'm not able to answer questions right now. It's already 3 p.m. And I want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me so far. My name is Peace Bamidele, Principal Consultant of Macquarie's Consulting. It's an honor speaking to you. It's an honor being part of this conversation. And I say thank you again to Olasoni Home Tutors for the invitation. And I hand over to them right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Peace Bamidele. Wow, 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 wow. So many questions. So many questions. Forward your questions to the account name or that you dropped on the page so that they can answer your questions. So please, again, let's drop our light bulb moments. I can see a lot of comments. Good presentation. Thank you, sir. Really enjoyed this. Good time. Good time management skills. He works in a soft skills company, so he has to have good time management skills. Wonderful session. I've learned a lot. Thank you, thank you. So please drop your light bulb. I'm waiting for the light bulb moment. I'm waiting for your light bulb moment. Please drop them in the chat box. Daily said that really hit you, that really hit deep, and you're like, oh yeah, this is me. Okay, Elizabeth, my question wasn't answered. I learned a lot. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Just I'm sure you will be willing to answer your questions. Munyolua says, appreciate people, acknowledge people, and apologize. Session. Thank you. Oluwatemi Lawrence says, more important about what you say is how you say it. Bamidele, once again, it was great having you. I will hope to have you some other time. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Yeah, my life moment, smile, 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 smile. There are a lot of people that like to frown, so just smile, just respond instead of reacting. If I want to have an advantage in the future of work, I must possess skills that machines don't have. Major thing alone. Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much, everybody. It was a beautiful session. Thank you, Mr. Peace. All right, so we'll be moving to our breakout session. We'll be having a breakout session right now. And please just your assessment score. It contributes 40% of your assessment scores. Oluwaseun, I see speaking. I see you. So we'll be starting the breakout room in a bit, and you would see the questions for your group. A group leader. So we're doing a leadership intelligence course. So somebody should volunteer as a group leader, and the last day of the training. And please note, it is not just the group leader that will be presenting. Any group member can be called on all the work for your group leader to do. It's a teamwork. So we're learning teamwork. We're learning how to relate with people. So the questions are already posted. Once you go into the breakout room, you will see the questions for your group. So as a team, as a group working together to achieve a whole lot of things, please work together with your team leaders, whoever the group leader is. You can send your questions to us. If you have any questions, please send it to Olasoni. Kindly send it to that email address. And your presentations also should be submitted latest on Thursday, this coming Thursday. So please work as a team. Today, you might just need to finalize. It's not a whole lot of work. and do paper presentation. No, no, no. It's just for us to know that you understand your work as a team and you can collaborate. It wouldn't take more than 10 minutes. It's just a, just run through thing. So we'll be starting the breakout session now, and we should be by this is 3:13. We should be back here by 3:50 p.m. because our next session is starting by 4 p.m. sharp, and you do not want to miss it. Yusuf Rokibat, I see you. Thank you for marking your attendance. So the breakout room would start now, and you will get a pop-up to go into your breakout room session. Please acknowledge it. Oh, this is 3. Oh, my time is so fast. Okay, this is 3. Thank you, Dami. This is 3:05. So I will reconvene here by 3:50 p.m. Yeah, so you'll be moving to your breakout session rooms now. Can you hear me? Please, if you got a pop-up to join any of the groups, please accept it. So I can still see some people in the main page. Adebusri, I can still see you. Richard, I can still see you. Thompson, I can still see you. Anytime where you're still here, did you get a pop-up? Please, you can unmute, you can let me know. Did you get a notification to join a group? So Mr. Nnamdi, Adebusuri Adu, Richard and Thompson, you're still in the main session. You should be in your breakout room. Okay. All right. Nnamdi, Fidelis, and Richard. Okay. Nnamdi, you're still here. Please join your breakout room. So I'm just going to wait for everybody to come back to the main section. All right. Don't believe everybody is back in. I believe we're back in. How was the breakout? How was the breakout session? I was in some groups and the talk was just, well, whoever is going to be presenting for your group, just make sure that it's somebody that will make your group to have a very high score, because whatever the group leader gets or the person presenting, whatever I get is what all the group members will get. So if the person presenting for you doesn't present well, you'll get the same score. So make sure you select somebody who can present well for you. And please, the group leaders, don't forget to send your presentation on Thursday to the email address olasumi@yahoo.com. So email will be sent out to you to include the mail address. So you can just probably respond to that email, but it will put the email address in the mail that will be sent out to you so that you can send in your presentations. So I hope we're ready for another exciting session. I hope we all enjoyed this the session we had earlier on artificial intelligence, and I hope we'll be able to use it in our places of work when we go back to work tomorrow, for those who are going to the office, for those who are working from home, and even those who are not working in the office or are just, doing your own thing. I believe you'll be able to use it effectively. All right, so I'll be doing a very brief presentation of our next speaker. But in the meantime, earlier, because some people joined late, I said the breakout session, your presentations contribute 40% of your assessment score. 40% of your assessment score. So you do not want to miss your presentations. And remember, I told you to go through your code of conduct so you know all the things that make up your assessment score. And I believe the marking guide has been sent. If it has not been sent, or if it has, please just look out for it in your mail. Look out for the marking guide so that you can also see how your exams will also be marked. And remember, there is an examination at the end of this training. There is going to be an examination at the end of this training, and every single question that was set was taken from the different courses that we had, or the different classes that we've taken. So please go through your notes. We might not be able to send you the presentation slides, but please, the recording will be available. So for those that missed yesterday's, those that missed the one that was done earlier today, a link will be sent to you also in email so that you can have access to the recording. We will not be sending the recording directly to your emails, but a link will be sent so that you can go over. I know for those who experienced yesterday's zone, it was a mind-blowing session, and a lot of people requested to have the recordings. So a link will be sent for the daily courses that have been taken so that you can go through over and over again to be able to prepare well for your forthcoming examinations that will be held on the 13th of March, which is next week, Saturday, God willing. All right, so I'll be doing a presentation of our next speaker. Be ready. Okay, enough. I cannot find my presentation. Okay, so I'm just going to read it from here. Osirame Momodu is the head data intelligence and strategy into Switch Group. He's an alumnus of the University of Lagos and holds a BSc in mechanical engineering, an MSc from systems engineering and engineering analysis. He's a Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certificate holder and certified skilled agile practitioner from Skilled Agile Incorporated. He currently leads the consumer business strategy at the InterSwitch Group, where he guides and supports the consumer businesses of the group in strategy formulation, execution, and tracking against set objectives and market realities. And he also oversees the company's data intelligence and management unit as a certified data science, machine learning, and AI practitioner and mentor and leader for various teams. And he will be speaking on artificial intelligence. Please join me as I welcome Osirame Momodu. Hi. Please, you can unmute. Okay. We can't hear you.
On artificial intelligence, it's kind of like an overview, but then again, it may be boring at some point in time. So let me know where you get bored, or we'll try and make it a little bit fun. Okay. Um, I think I'll with this I can start, right? Tosin, can you see my
Yes,
screen?
please.
Okay.
Please. Yes. You can see your screen, sir.
Good evening, all. I'm my humble self. Um, what I want to do is to take you through an introduction of the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is this is a leadership intelligence course, and what I'll try and fascinate you with is the role of artificial intelligence in helping you be intelligent leaders. Okay, in everything you do. Okay, I'm not going to particularly tell you how to be successful in an artificial intelligence organization in terms of the technicalities of how to succeed in it, but some nuggets that's going to help you guide you. So if you have that interest, then you can flow with it. And then of course, if you are the kind of person that you are more business minded or business focused than technically focused, then you have an idea of the kind of people you need in your team to be able to be successful. Okay, so with that, then we start. So, I'm going through the outline, introducing us all to artificial intelligence. I'll speak briefly about the types of AI and then try and differentiate artificial intelligence from machine learning and deep learning. Okay. And then talk about applications and case studies. Now, this is the most important part of this course because at the end of the day, what we want to have is intelligent leaders that can um, lead some form of intelligence, have some form of intelligence in the leadership space. Okay, we are grooming leaders in essence, and a lot of things come to play to make you useful leaders. Okay, please let me know if you can't hear me. Okay, um, and then I go on. So, introduction. What is artificial intelligence? Okay, it's simply put, artificial intelligence has to do with a process of building intelligent machines, okay? Intelligent machines from vast volumes of data, okay? So what we have is situations whereby you know how certain things operate. You've taken readings, you've taken, so I say data, but simply put, we have a clear case of every morning. Let me use Tosin for example. Every morning, Tosin wakes up, she says her prayers, then she um, prepares breakfast for the family, and then she heads out to work. Now that's a clear routine that she always follows every single day. Then maybe there will be some variations maybe during the weekend. Now, if I collect that information and put it down, and then I say I want to optimize, or I want to make Tosin's life better, it's based on this information about Tosin that I will be able to make her life much better. So in essence, artificial intelligence has to do with what is going on, taking that information, those facts of what happens day to day, and then transforming it into something that can be automated. Okay, so you don't automate something out of the blues. Something already exists. Okay, so for example, there has to be a clear routine, there has to be a clear process, there has to be something on ground. It may be manual, okay, but all you want to do is to say this manual thing that is going on, how is it happening? What's the key information that you need to note? And then based on that, you use that information to build machines. Let me give you a clear example that you should all resonate with. Okay. So in terms of the fact that some of us live on the mainland and then we probably may work on the island, for example, assuming we have some of us here that our routine fits into that description. Some people may be the other way around. Some of us may be students, okay? Uh, so, or let me even use a student for example. Okay, you live on the mainland, then your school, maybe you live somewhere in Festac, and then you school in Unilag. You don't have a hostel in Unilag, so you come all the way from Festac every morning, all the way to Unilag every day. Okay, if you were to walk that trip, if you were to walk rather than take a bus or take a car, you know have left in the morning, you know how uncomfortable or comfortable you need to have been, the kind of shoes you wear to get all the way to Unilag in the morning. But take it like this: what if you were to build a machine, aka a car, such that is going to take you all the way from Festac to Unilag? Okay, we have to be very sure of what we are trying to do and what pain or what value we are trying to add to you. So for example, walking all the way from First Start to Unilag, I'm sure some are saying, what is this guy talking about? How can we walk all the way from Unilag? Okay? I mean, all the way from first. That's the journey that our get to our destination. It's that information that would have been relevant to the mechanic who was going to build a car that was going to take you from First Start to Unilag in probably 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Okay. Factoring the fact that African roads are African roads, you'd have probably done something to the joints so that they'll be stronger and they'll be more flexible so that the car doesn't spoil on the way. Okay, so it's all this information that helps to build intelligent machines. So today, right now, we have cars that have sensors that are able to adjust accordingly. So you are probably in a car, maybe the seat is not okay. The car seat adjusts because it notices you have a big back frame, okay, of some sort, or you don't need to press the throttle too hard because it notices the way the car is moving. So it's able to adjust the fuel flow in the car and so on and so forth. Artificial intelligence just takes this information, which is what we call data, and then it uses it to create systems that can more or less be called robots in a way. And that's what we're talking about today. Okay. Um, please, if you have any questions, please hit the chat room as I'm going on, and and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Um, what is artificial intelligence? So it can be used in different areas in life. It's not just in technology, not just in engineering. You can use AI in transport. You can use AI in transport. You can use it in healthcare. Okay. Rather than doctors opening up the patient and then saying, how do we know it is a liver or a kidney? Or how do we know it is this? There's AI to check even from your blood temperature. Today we have smart watches which can take readings of our vitals, and then from those vitals it can even create some indication of what the issue is without even needing to start conducting surgery to find out whether someone's liver is working or not. Okay, it's used in banking. Okay, there are applications in banking, in retail when we talk about supermarket franchising and all, in entertainment industry, in e-commerce. We are all used to going to Jumia or Konga to go and shop. But then again, there are some things that those people use in terms of recommender systems, whereby you go on the site and automatically the thing is recommending a toothbrush for you. And your question is, how did this thing know that I needed a toothbrush? Maybe, for example, something took your readings and said, maybe the last time you bought a toothbrush, you always buy toothbrushes every 3 months, and then maybe the last time you bought a toothbrush was 3 months ago. So the system is intelligent enough to recommend that, hey, you need a toothbrush. Okay, you have chatbots, you have assistants are able to collect you, and then fraud prevention techniques. Okay, to make sure that, okay, fine, even as you shop online, that they are doing so safely, and then there are no scammers that are trying to, take advantage of you online. There's gaming, there's automobile. So there are different areas, and it is beyond all this, different areas where artificial intelligence can be applied to. So the question is, what are the types of artificial intelligence? Funny enough, there are two ways in which we can classify the types of artificial intelligence. Okay, they can be classified based on capabilities and can be categorized based on functionality. So capabilities is, what is the AI able to do? Okay. Functionality is more like, what are the features that it has to do whatever it wants to do. Okay. So we're going to go into them. Of course, you can see that capabilities, there are three different types of capabilities, and then there are four different types when you are classifying it according to functionalities. Okay, but we'll go into those types shortly. Okay, so going in and classifying it based on capabilities only, you'll find out that the first one is narrow AI. Okay, that's the most commonly used AI right now. And a simple example is your Siri. Another example is probably your online chess game. Okay, whereby the AI is focused on just delivering around a specific function. Okay, it's not it has a limited task and one task only. It does not do multiple things. Okay, so for example, I use Siri for example. Its own job, for Siri, you agree with me, is to take whatever you have as a question and find out the answer for you, like a mini Google, but a voice assisted Google. Okay, Google search option. Okay, so all it does is search for options for you that you may use or that may be viable for you to answer your daily request. Can Siri drive your car? No, it cannot. Okay. Can Siri help you go shopping? No, Siri cannot. But can Siri find out places where you can shop? Yes, Siri can do that. Okay. So it's just fall under narrow AI. Now, a lot of applications of AI are around narrow AI. Okay, and it's simply straight put. Okay, I mean, well, simple enough to understand. Then there's the general AI, which is commonly known as the strong AI. Okay, and this AI is able to understand the intellectual task of being a human. It can understand. It can think through things. Okay, it has full cognitive abilities. Okay, but unfortunately, this type of AI is still in its experimental stage. Okay, there are still some examples of it, like Chansey supercomputers in Japan, okay, and then some other supercomputers, some other places in the world, but they are still largely experimental, whereby they can process data irrespective of which context it is. Okay, very experimental, but they use vast number of servers and and resources on them. And then there's the last one called months or years back, we had Sophia that was launched. And Sophia is an example of a super AI, whereby it's not just about thinking through things, okay? She, as a robot, can express emotions. So you can see from the charts here how she's actually frowning, like she's been to Nigeria, okay? She's really frowning. And then, of course, there are also pictures of her even smiling and all. AI that can express emotions, as it were. Okay. There are limited options of that, but like I said, most in terms of capabilities, most AI applications we tend to see at times fall under the narrow AI. Okay. Now, when we go on to functionalities to see, okay, fine, how do we classify AI according to functionalities? We have the limited memory AI. Okay. This is the one that it doesn't store what you do in its memory. All it knows, it already has a logic. Okay. If Tosin opens the door, ring the bell. If she closes the door, stop ringing the bell. It does not store the fact that Tosin has opened the door 700 times. Okay. And after she opened the door 700 times, she probably closed it like 500 times. I had to go and close the door after her, the remaining 200 times. It doesn't store that in its memory. Okay. All it knows is that every time something like this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. And so it's commonly used in games like chess, for example, online chess. So you find out that online chess, some of them or most of them don't specifically learn what you do. Okay, they don't store the fact that you've made these particular moves or these mistakes over and over again. All it knows is that if you move e4, for those of you who play chess, then you probably play f8, for example. Okay, please don't quote me, I just said hypothetical spaces. Okay, so it's all it just knows is that when this happens, then do this. So it's like an action reaction type of AI. Okay, then the second type is the reactive type. Okay, the reactive type is such that it stores some form of memories. Okay, so it has some form of memory, but those memories it stored are probably preloaded. Okay, so for example, from the manufacturer's what do you call it? From the manufacturing point of view, maybe the manufacturer has done some testing and all that, so it puts some preliminary information to say, okay, fine, just to guide the machine such that even as it's reacting to your everyday command, it has some what they call it saying, some backup information to learn from. Okay, such AI machines are probably updated on a regular basis. A typical example is your antivirus system, for example. Okay, you notice that periodically your antivirus needs to be updated. What happens is that the manufacturer or the antivirus software provider actually keeps on modifying the definitions of what a virus is, and he keeps, by way of updates, pushing it to the AI, to the machine, so that the machine uses that to learn on how to react to any possible attack on your computer. Okay, so that's an example of reactive machine learning. Okay, the remaining two types of machine learning are actually kind of experimental, and like we discussed in the previous categorization, they don't really exist as it were. So the first one is self-awareness AI. Actually, the first one I would like to discuss is actually theory of mind. Okay, which in a sense it's able to express feelings and emotions, as well as even understand those feelings and emotions. So like for example, the Sophia that we saw in the previous slide, whereby she was actually frown press emotions. Okay, and then the self-awareness AI. Okay, AI that, well, theoretically we feel that it can perceive human emotions, it can make human emotions, and then of course it may also be smarter than the human mind. Okay, I would like to think of it as the type of AI that we spoke about when we were acting, or I wasn't part of them, but when they were shooting the film Terminator, that they took over the world because they were that smart. But it's still theoretical. Nothing really has really been done. It's just theory, all of it. But in terms of real life case studies, we have the limited AI, and then we have the reactive machine AI type. Okay. So now here is where I want to differentiate between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Okay. As you can see from my chart here, artificial intelligence, okay, the concept of just creating intelligent machine that can do some form of thinking or or interaction or processing of data by themselves without us necessarily having to guide them. Okay, so that is artificial intelligence. Okay, but when you talk about machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Okay, and what it focuses on is helping us to build AI applications. Okay, so you need to build that logic that helps you decide that if, like I said in the earlier example I gave using Tosin, if Tosin opens the door, ring the bell. Okay, somebody has to, that logic has to be built into the system. Okay, if Tosin comes in, ring the bell. Okay, so sometimes you may need the code, you may need to write some code or do something with software. It's mostly software dependent, yes, but that's what machine learning entails. Machine, the logic based on which the machine is going to think, is going to react, is going to provide you with the service that you need from the machine. Okay, and then the last type, deep learning, is a subset of machine learning. Okay, what it does, so you've written the logic of machine learning. Okay, but sometimes it's one thing for you to write the logic, is another thing for you to take real life data and then you try and test the real life data on your machine learning. Okay, so for example, we've written a logic for a self-driving car, or no, let me not use that. We've written the logic for, we're talking about antivirus for a computer. We've written the logic such that we said if the computer behaves like 1 and 2 and 3, and the computer is probably going off every 5 minutes, right? Then do XYZ. Okay, we've written out that logic. All we need is data, information, whereby we're going to throw that information. That information may also include scenarios whereby the computer is actually shutting off after 5 minutes, and the computer would need to actually react in XYZ. Okay, so deep learning has to do with taking real life data and using it to, we use the word train. Okay, we use it to train whatever machine learning algorithm that you've written. So you've written a logic for machine learning. Okay, you need to test it. So deep learning involves that testing. Okay, and depending on how well you test it, the feedback, the errors that you get, you use it to improve on your machine learning technique to make it even much more stronger. Okay, so if I may use this example, we're in the season of COVID-19 right now, and um, and right now, you are hearing things like the Pfizer vaccine, for example, has 93% efficacy rate. Then you have another vaccine that has 95% efficacy rate. Then there's the AstraZeneca that they say has 73%, what do they call this thing? Efficacy rate. Meaning that 73% of the time you are sure that you are going to be protected from COVID-19. Okay, what did they use to be able to be sure that at least vaccine will protect you from COVID-19? It's very simple. All they did was that they took real life data of people who have gotten COVID-19 and they applied it to the vaccine. Okay, that is deep learning. And they tried it on the vaccine. The vaccine was machine length. Let me use that word, machine length. Okay, and they said let us try it, and they went deep learning and they tried different scenarios of COVID-19 and they threw it at it, and they just said, you know what, 73% of the COVID-19 cases that we've seen, that our vaccine was able to solve the problem. Of course, they'll probably continue to try different options to see how they can stretch their machine learning techniques to make sure that 73% will probably become 90% and 95% and 97%. But it's the process of deep learning that they use to know how strong that the technique they've developed through machine learning is, and then they can apply it to their intelligent system. Okay, I hope I haven't confused you. Okay, but then again, thank God it's being recorded so you can go over it again. Okay, but the clear thing you should remember in all these things, okay, it's not just knowing the differences with it. I'm talking about leadership and being intelligent leadership. And leadership and being intelligent in form of leading. It's not even about knowing how to do this thing, the technicalities of it. It's the fact that you need to understand them very well, because if you do not understand them, according to the quote we have at the bottom of the page, you may just be a dinosaur right now. Okay? So, but then again, I believe I'm talking to young people, so I doubt I will have any dinosaurs in this set. Okay? So there are different types of machine learning techniques. There's the supervised learning, there's the unsupervised learning, there's the reinforced learning. Okay. Of course, the supervised learning is just a way whereby we already know what we want, and we just create a machine learning technique that gives us what we want. That's a simple way of putting it. So, for example, I want a car, so I just create a technique that gives me a car. Okay. Or I want something that can help me differentiate between cats and dogs. Okay. I just create something that gives me exactly what I want, a cat or a dog. And there are different techniques. Well, numerical techniques is linear regression, logistic regression, support vectors, naive Bayes, decision tree. I know that we may have some science students in the room, or engineering students as it were. So some of these techniques may be familiar with you. But if even if you are not a science student or an engineering student, the purpose of this course right now is not for you to delve into science or engineering, it's for you to realize that there is an application of this thing in your journey in life. Okay, and your ability to put within your team people who are able to help you achieve what you need to achieve with this kind of competence in mind. Okay. So we have the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning, we pretty much do not know what we want. We have a large, we have data, we have information, we have things, but we don't know what we really want. We don't know what to expect. Okay, we are trying to seek for a solution somewhere, but we do not know what to expect. The typical case is where you have a bunch of cars, and you just want to classify them, maybe probably according to types, and you don't know how to go about that. Okay, so this type of learning just goes and studies the data the way the data is, and then just tries to group them accordingly. There are classification learning types which tries to group things according to their similarities, to draw some form of similarities or semblances within your data, so that you can give you some insights as to say, you know what, it seems like most Nigerians that come for online leadership training with Olasumi tutors, most of them end up being great people. So people now start drawing those semblances. Really, it seems like the more people come to Olasumi, the more they become great. So that's what unsupervised learning does. It doesn't, you don't particularly know an answer, but you probably look into it, and then it gives you like a crystal ball that when you pour your data into it, you probably see something that you've never seen before, you never imagined. Okay. And then of course there's reinforcement learning. Okay. um which helps you just um you have data, and then you're in different environments. So the first unsupervised learning is that you're sure of the environment, but the data you're pouring it in to see what it's going to give you. But in reinforcement learning, you pretty much you're not even sure of the environment, where whether it's going to be in Cotonou or you're going to try it in, we don't know. Okay, so there are certain uncertainties are even much more than unsupervised learning. Okay, and there are different techniques, and one of the most popular techniques is actually neural networks. Very deep, very wonderful technique there, but it works no matter how uncertain the situation is, it gives you the perfect results. Okay. Of course, if you want to machine learning processes, there's gathering, then you process, choose your model, train, test, tune, prediction. But like I said, this is not training to teach you how to do machine learning. That is a separate and a much wider course to do. So applications of machine learning, I've mentioned fraud several times, whereby you have created an algorithm to say, if you see um, if you see a fraudster telling you that his grandfather just died and he needs money to redeem his containers over the sea, then flag it as fraud. Okay, and then periodically your antivirus providers will probably keep updating the rules to tell you, oh, this keeps coming in. So fraud is one key application of machine learning. Okay, another one is sales forecasting for different products. So we're in an era whereby we are looking for what does the customer want. Does the customer want a bicycle? Does the customer want Cadbury? Does the customer need this biscuit? Does the customer need water? What does the customer need? Okay, you can use machine learning based on the data you get from different customers of how they move about and how they choose their products. You can decide what may be the next set of things that customers may be going for. So, for example, right now, you may go around and collect data and find out that customers are complaining about heat on Twitter. So, Twitter is one place you can collect data from. You go to Twitter and then you see that, trending, heat wave in Lagos, trending, we need water, NEPA, bring lights, everything's around heat. So, the next thing, as a salesperson, what would you be looking for? Where can we find fan? Where can we find fans that actually have some form of fans that have some form of water cooling effects that can make you feel cooler? Okay, you may even go and find, oh, can you go and get water dispensers because people may be drinking a lot of water because of the heat and all that. So that helps you know what to push before your customer. Okay, so if I were a Jumia right now, the kind of products I'll be pushing to customers when they come on Jumia is, I have water dispenser, I have a fan that can cool you very well, I have an AC. This AC works even without lights. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that you use machine learning for. Use it for fraud analysis, you need it for recommendation of products like I just said, and then of course stock prices prediction. So there are some of us on this call right now that I know that you invested heavily in bitcoins, okay, and then probably you were buying and selling at some point to make some small margins of it, and some of you are into forex trading. Machine learning is one of those things you use to help you so that to minimize your losses on such investments. Okay, so these are some applications of machine learning, as it were. Okay, so I'm into the final segment of this training. Okay, and here I want to discuss, it's more of a discussion and it's all about applications, away from the technicalities, away from the fact that I probably need to write code, I need a developer or something like that. The question is, why is artificial intelligence important as a 21st century leader? Okay, as a 21st century intelligent leader. Okay, and I'll give you some case studies, real life case studies, and then but I'll give you some scenarios. I'll try and set some perspective. Okay, some things that we already know. Now, for some of us that we may have realized, okay, we've gone beyond and CDs and carrying about music our phones to listen to music. Okay, we've gone from using the regular yellow taxis and cabs to using Uber and Taxify and Bolt. Okay, and then for some of us who are conversant with this, who travel or may want to travel, right, we've gone beyond actually having hotels that have huge buildings and all and are successful, to hotel franchises that actually don't need to own any form of hotel building or hotel property to be able to tell you that this is where you need to book for your hotel reservation, okay, at an affordable price. Okay, the world is constantly changing. The incumbents you see today, whereby you would have thought growing up that I will need a lot of money or a lot of capital to buy a fleet of cars to own a taxi company. Right now, we're in this time of the world whereby I don't need to own a fleet of cars to own a taxi company. All I just need is a software application some one or two skilled people, and then to sign up people who actually have these cars and then owning any single car and be more profitable than a regular taxi cab. Okay. Now that's the kind of world we are in right now. Okay. And to put it into perspective, I have this chart, okay, lovely chart from a colleague of mine. Okay. The biggest telecommunications companies in the world, it's not MTN, it's not Airtel, it's not Globalcom, it's WhatsApp and Google. Because chances are hardly any of you has called anyone with your regular phone credit. You either use WhatsApp or you probably use Google Hangout. Okay? The biggest media companies in the world are not your TV stations or some advertising agencies. They are Google and Facebook because they produce media content. Wait, sorry, they don't even produce it. You produce it for them. And they own it. They are able to distribute it around and they have this much content. And people just keep putting content and they keep distributing it, and that's what makes them the biggest. Because without spending a dime, they already are the biggest. They're already doing what the other media companies will hope to do. Okay? Without owning any computer, what they call it in, um, without owning any computer infrastructure in a way, they just have, they do not make any servers. Let me put it that way. They don't make any computer servers or anything. They are the largest providers of computer infrastructure. So, for example, if at the end of this course you decide to start up a business and you are very clear on the role of artificial intelligence in in your business, you could actually go to Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure and just subscribe for the right package. So you don't really need to be even a developer to be able to have the right infrastructure to be able to run your businesses. Okay, so right now I'm in a company whereby we have a large number of servers, right? But you see, the world has moved beyond having a large number of servers. We really don't need to have a large number of servers, okay? Because there are people like Amazon who have a large number of servers already. All we just need to do is just tap into their server infrastructure, and then we're able to do, no matter how specialized the service that we're offering is, we can do it with these two guys, okay? You have somebody who is the largest movie house in the world and they don't own a single cinema. Netflix, okay? They have the largest retailer in the world without a single store. We have the largest, we talked about people who are the largest taxi owners in the world and they don't have a single cab. Okay, so this is where the world is going to, whereby the people you think are incumbents, okay, the world has moved to a level whereby you, and by you I'm talking about you that are listening to this course right now, you have more than enough to actually start a business, run it profitably, and beat any incumbent in any sector of the economy today, irrespective of whatever you perceive may be the challenge that you will face. I say that again, just in case the recording wasn't clear or isn't clear. You sitting down where you are right now, you have the ability to start up a business in any sector you choose without necessarily needing to worry about the infrastructure to set up that business, because tools you need to deliver are just a click away. So you can be the biggest retailer, you could be the biggest manufacturer in a specific item, you could be the business provider in a particular service that is probably a niche service, but you don't need to own the infrastructure. All you just need to be is smart about how you go about it. So yes, you studied how incumbents do it in that sector. The question I'll be asking you is, how can you disrupt them? digital? How can you use digital and change the way that industry currently delivers that service, such that you solve the problems of that industry and you deliver value to the people who require that service from that industry in a profitable manner, such that you at the end of the day will be the person at this side of the lecture come next year or next 2 years or next 3 years or last submit to us and telling us how you did it, your success story. Okay. Now, what are they taking advantage of? There are four principal things that people should be mindful of in order to use digital technology like artificial intelligence to take advantage of use cases in the world and bring out world-class businesses led by world-class people. Okay. First one is cloud technology. Like I said, you do not need to own infrastructure or servers. All you just need to do is just go and take advantage of cloud technology and boom, you are there. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they are all playing in that realm and that's why they are big today. Okay. You have to have a platform for social interaction. Okay. Today we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The reason why I wrote platform for social interaction is because it goes beyond just social media. Okay. Sometimes for a particular service, you may want to build a platform such that you create an interaction between providers of the service, in which case, in the case of Uber, the providers of the service are the taxi drivers and the consumers who need the service. In this case could be you and I who may need a taxi service to go to any part of the state. So you will need so in the case of Uber, what Uber did was to create a platform where consumers and providers of that service can interact to provide that service to people. Okay. And as they created that platform, they did it such that they were able to collect data from all of us that were using the platform. So today you sign terms and conditions on your phones. When you want to sign for services, there's cookies on your website. All they're doing is trying to get your information so they'll be able to solve your problem as close to the solution as possible. Okay. So for example, one thing a company called Chivita does very well is that they look into the market, they see what people are going for, they see the kind of drinks, they see the kind of weather they are suffering, and depending on what people are doing, they go and invent another drink and yet another drink just to meet that demand that people seem to meet. There was a time when everybody was crazy about smoothies and drinking fresh fruits. They quickly went to go and create their own set of juices that are fresh fruits. There was a time when people were crazy about low sugar. They went and create drinks that were low sugar and so on and so forth. Okay. And then there's mobile, the ability to reach out to your customers the best way possible. What channel are you going to use to reach out to your customer? Okay. Right now, the easiest and fastest way to reach out to every one of us is mobile. Some of you on this course right now, you are listening to me right now from your mobile phone. Okay. Some of you are going to watch this thing back again on your mobile phone. For those of us that we are going to go to Jumia and all that is going to be on your mobile phone, you do your banking on your mobile phone. Okay. And so on and so forth. Okay. So being able to take advantage of these four items helps us to be successful, to take advantage of digital technology in this day and age. So let's bring it home. So the question now, solving Africa's problems in a sustainable manner. Okay, how can we do this? Okay, how can we do this with AI? Okay, and this is where I kind of wrap up with two case studies. Okay, where I work or right, the company was founded based on the reality that a lot of us used to go to the bank. Some of us used to have to go to a specific bank branch. Some of us used to queue at a specific bank branch to withdraw money. okay, or to have access to banking services. Okay. Fast track 2021. I doubt there's any one of you that has been in the banking hall more than once in the last 8 to 10 months. Some of us probably in the last 3 years we've not been to the banking hall. Okay. And that's because things have gotten to the point whereby you have a card and you can go to an ATM, or you could go to an agent location, maybe somewhere by the corner, to use a POS to cash out, or a filling station, or you could just go to the shop and use the POS and buy what you want to buy. Or better still, you can transfer to whoever you're transferring to. That is how far technology has gone. Okay. And that's because a company saw that there was value between connecting two banks or three banks together, such that you don't need to particularly go to a specific bank to collect money. You can go to any bank at all to withdraw your money. Today, right now, you could go to anybody at all and collect money, and you'll be able to have access to that money. And that's because some people saw that problem and said, how can we use technology to solve this problem? Mind you, we are all Africans here, okay? And foreigners are not going to come to solve our problems. In fact, at the time, we were calling foreigners to come and help us solve the problems, and they were saying we were a high risk nation. Today, there are still a good number of services that you and I want to subscribe for, whether on Amazon or Alibaba, and they'll tell us that, oh, sorry, yeah, the delivery is Nigeria. Oh, it's a high risk nation. So the question is, how can we do international deliveries into Nigeria such that even things that we think cannot get to us can get to us? Okay. It's only us Africans that can solve it, and we can only solve it when we understand what technology is available and the applications of technology, and we tailor it to our problem. So the way we've solved this African problem is quite different from the way someone abroad would have solved the problem, and so it seems very, very ingenious to them. A second example is another company that recently got a valuation of 200 million. Okay, was bought over by another company, an American company, which wouldn't have probably invested in us except this company had done what they did. And what was the problem they realized? They realized that most of you guys that are on this course right now, who qualify as small and medium scale enterprise or business owners, right? Um, Even though there's some form of payments available on web and all, it may not be tailored to factor in the peculiarities of the fact that your businesses are small and medium, okay, enterprises. So they did something whereby they created something that makes it so seamless for you to integrate, and just so once you just sign in, bang bang, my email address is tosin underscore olastomi at yahoo.com, and then you put in your password. Automatically you are able to have access to a payment system without any foreknowledge, whereby your customers can pay you, can give you, and at the same time you have that look and feel of a company that is world class, even though you're just a small and medium scale enterprise, and they help you manage your entire inventory, manage your entire life, in a way that a big company will probably hire like 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 people to do so. But you are just 1 or 2 or 3 people, and you are focused on your core business activity, and this company just created something that just helps to take away that stress from you. Okay, those are examples of situations or circumstances whereby some form of digital technology or artificial intelligence was used to create this scenario. Mind you, for them to know that SMEs had this problem, they needed to have collected data. Okay, seen data, collected data, analyzed the problem, and then worked on it. Okay. So it is with that I think that's my last slide. I don't know whether there are any questions for me, or I have bored everyone to sleep. Okay. Okay, I don't know where to start from. So let's see. Um, I don't know where to start from. Okay. I don't know. Tosin can help me with any question. Okay, someone said, okay, my voice was really low. Okay, someone asked the question, will self awareness ever be a reality? Um, Most likely, yes. Eventually, self awareness will be a reality one day. When it will be, I do not know. Okay, I do not know when, but yes, it should be a reality one day. The movies at least keep giving us hints of what to expect, and with each time they release a new iPhone and new technology, you see something new and something new. So one day it's going to be a reality. When, I do not know. Okay. Okay. Someone is still concerned about self-awareness technology that supersedes human intelligence. Well, in my own opinion, as a Christian, God made us and we are not smarter than God. So I don't know about us creating something that is smarter than us. But if there's anything that man is determined. Okay. A fingerprint to open the door to the office. So fingerprint to open the door is more of a very, very simple, narrow AI technology, whereby it just analyzes your fingerprint, compares it against a database of fingerprints and says, hey, if this fingerprint equals to any of these fingerprints in this database, allow the person to enter into the building. Okay, if this does not enter into if this does not fit into any of the fingerprints in this database, please flag the person should not enter into the building. So yes, it's simple, narrow AI example. That's a good one. Thanks, Femi, for that. um Yes, Imo, yes. So a technology that can identify a problem and solve it. Yes, in a way you can say yes, it's self-awareness in a way. Okay, rather even classify it properly under the capabilities, whereby you talk about general or super AI, right? Whereby the AI sees a problem, identifies the problem, and based on all the data it has, proposes a solution to the solution. So it's more of super. I rather look at it from a capabilities classification point of view. Okay, but yes, you are right. It's towards the self-awareness point, whereby maybe self-awareness, yes, whereby you are taking theory, but maybe not self-awareness. Maybe it's more of theory of mind, because self-awareness has to do with even you smiling and expressing some emotions and all that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know whether there are any questions. If there are still any questions, you can always send it to Olasami Tutors. They know how to get the answers to you. Do you think that machine language creates unemployment? No, it will not create unemployment. In fact, I think it will create. So the traditional thinking is, if you have machine learning implemented, why do I need to employ 50 staff to do the job that one machine can do? That's the logical thinking. But think of it, this is how it has happened all of a sudden. Okay, it has happened such that the more people I free up, those 50 people can be retrained to do something much better. So, for example, let me use a very, very, very mundane example. So, you have a situation whereby we're growing up, and then every single morning or evening we were asked to sweep the house or clean the house, before we go to school or after we come back from school. We're meant to iron our clothes and all that and all that. And then now we've grown up, we've become big in quotes. So we've hired maybe one or two housemaids or house boys to do those things for us. Let's assume for the purpose of this discussion right now that those housemaids or house boys are actually machines, for example. Those guys doing that job, even though it seems like they've taken away the job from you, so you no longer have a job of sweeping the house or washing your clothes, it actually frees you up to do more jobs. Like, for example, sitting in front of the computer right now to lecture youths about how to leverage artificial intelligence, okay? Or actually even building or solving a big problem in Nigeria, like how can we get sustainable power, okay? So the way you see machine learning or AI is that it keeps freeing up your brain, frees up your intelligence to focus on more value adding things that you need in your life. Okay. So the more it releases us of things that we normally do, the more we should see avenues to promote ourselves above a particular level to do more with ourselves. How relevant is IoT, that's Internet of Things, and or AI to the field of facility management in future? This is a very, very good application. So imagine this situation, a simple facility management situation whereby you own a event center, for example, and the event center, of course, because we're in Nigeria, we have two generating sets that are fueled with a tank of diesel that is very heavy laden with diesel. Okay, a simple test is in as much as each time you are running the facility, right? Number one, immediately they take light in the next 3 seconds, immediately they take light, you can cut over to inverter. It's AI that can do that for you. Okay. Immediately it cuts over to inverter. If light doesn't come back on in the next 10 seconds after it cuts over to inverter, you can switch on the generating sets. AI does that for you. And when you talk about Internet of Things and AI, you have a situation whereby if the diesel level in the tank that supplies the two generators drops below a particular level, okay, it can send you a message on your phone to say ping 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 ping, the diesel level has dropped below a particular level. So the question now is, what are you going to do if the diesel level has dropped below a particular level? Can we even take it further to say, can the AI provider, whereby you have such AI installed in your customer's location, such that immediately drops below a particular level, you're already calling the customer to tell the customer that you're going to debit the customer a particular amount because you're going to deliver more diesel to the customer first thing tomorrow morning. Now that's IoT and AI in action. Any other questions? Okay. If there's no other questions, Tosin, um, I don't know. Tosin, I think you can take over at this point in time. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you for having me. Sorry if inconvenience and all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, they're asking you to share your social handle. Um, so please.
Okay, my social media handle. Hey, that means I
Yeah.
have to be very active. Okay, which one do I? Twitter. I think I'm more active on Twitter. My social media handle on Twitter is, what is it? If you look for Syria Man, I think you should be
Okay, you can just drop it
able to
also in the
find me
chat.
on Twitter. Yes, just find me on with Syria Man. I think you should be able to find me. My email address is osi_momo at yahoo.com. So you can find me as well with that, and can track me up like that. And I think, okay, I sent it to, yeah. So what they call it? I sent it to you right now too, since you can just help me send it to the rest of the chat. Um,
Oh,
thank you
okay.
everyone for having me again.
Okay. Thank you so much. So please, you you will get it. If you still have further questions, because I think somebody just dropped the question, but please, if you have further questions, please feel free to send them to his social media handle, and I'm sure we'll be able to address the questions. And if you also want to send it to us, you can send it to our mail and we'll forward them to him. So we can also send you a mail back with the answers. Yeah, so again, we've come to the end of another exciting session. Wow, AI, artificial intelligence. So please, if you want to drop your light bulb moments again, just as we've always done, please kindly drop what you've learned. Oh, I can see some comments in the chat room. Let me see if I can quickly just copy this so I can send to the general page. Yep. Okay, so I just sent the social media handle to you all. oc_momo@yahoo.com. So please kindly send your questions to him. You can see some comments. Good lecture on creative. That's from Adini Israel. Let me say thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. Okay. There are a lot of comments. Okay. Mr. Ebenezer says, good initiative. There is hope and jobs for our youth. Anytime one sees brain opening sessions. Wow. Thank you so much. Mr. Ebenezer says artificial intelligence is not here to take over human jobs, but to fulfill humanity. Thank you very much, Mr. Sirome Momodu. It was great having you, widen our brains, like to think beyond our scope and beyond our horizon. Thank you so much. I would love to have you again. Thank you once again, everybody, for attending the 2 sessions today. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope your notes are full, because remember, examinations are coming. Yeah, examinations are coming. All right, so the next date we'll be meeting is March 13th. That is next week, Saturday. We'll be meeting here. Email will be sent to you on the time and all the necessary details with the link to join in. And I trust you have the timetable also. So please just go through and don't forget to go through your LIC code of conduct once again. Please, group or team leaders, please remember to send your presentation and also get ready for your presentation on Saturday, as you will be presenting. Each team will be presenting. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time. If you have any questions, like I said, please send them to our mail and we would address them. And remember, your presentation makes 40% of your assessment score. Next week, Saturday, is the last day. Woo! And trust me, it is loaded. You do not want to miss it for anything. So those that attended yesterday can attest to that fact that it has been loaded since day 1. So don't even try to miss the last day for anything. Yes, okay, so team leaders, I said Thursday, please submit your presentations. Your presentation is on Saturday. You're submitting your presentations on Thursday, but presentation is taking place on Saturday. Okay, somebody said she doesn't know our team. Okay, Miriam, please just reach out to us. Send us a mail, because I'm sure you were assigned to a team. You probably didn't join in. So if there are any other persons having the same issues, please send us a mail. Send us a mail so we can know how to address your issues and attach it to your team so you do not lose out. And you would also, if you are a team leader, so the team leaders for each team, you might want to just quickly just drop your names. For electricity, for technology, please, for politics, you might just want to drop your name in the chat box so that your team members who are also reassigned to you can join in. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in today. I hope to see you next week, Saturday. I hope to see you all Oh, okay, well, no problem. Like I said earlier, there will be a mail sent out to us with the recording, a link to access the recording so you can go through. So you really, as much as you missed it now, you can still go over the recording when the link is sent to you. So the link will definitely be sent to you. Please go through it and listen to all the sessions again, over and over again, so that you are fit to take your examinations. And if you would not be able to take the examinations, please before then, please send email. Because if you miss your examination, we assume that you've missed out of the entire training. So please, 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 if you have a cogent excuse for not going to be able to participate, please send a message. I'm going to say this once again, the examinations will take place after the training on Saturday. The examinations happen immediately after the training on Saturday. Olamide, I hope that answers your questions. Don't worry, it's not PMP. And it's not IELTS, so there's no need to be so scared. They are simple questions, they're very simple questions. Yeah, thank you. All right, so we've come to the end of today. Woo! Glory, glory, glory. We're excited. Yeah, so I hope to see you all next week, Saturday. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good evening. Bye.